Hey, crypto friends, checking in on these sectors. So the things that I have been watching, the time frames that I have been watching have been the 12-hour on Bitcoin and the 2-day. So let's start bigger picture, 2-day. So the 2-day time frame, I am anticipating a tightening range to play out probably into, I don't want to say mid-June, but through the first week of June. We've got the high, low, the lower high was set, and we're looking for a higher low compared to $8,106. From there, unless we see increasing bull volume that is notable, we will be looking for a daily lower high compared to 9,900, and then the range will continue to tighten up, probably first week of June. We'll take it one day at a time as always. So what were we looking for to indicate that our 2-day higher low has formed? I'm using the 2-day time frame because the daily chart, a little bit more choppy. You can see it here as well. I'm just preferring the 2-day time frame a little bit more in the moment. So the 12-hour, changing the trend, certainly shifts the odds significantly that our 2-day higher low has likely been set. So low, high of the bounce, held support, bull break this morning, and a shift in momentum is on. This is the first 12-hour trend change back to the bull since we topped out at that lower high level in the 9,900s. So as far as clarity goes, that has clarity for me on the Bitcoin chart. We also anticipated in the last video update that I did that if we were going to form a higher low, as anticipated, that we were going to see the dominance chart bounce with Bitcoin USD, because that's been the correlation recently. When Bitcoin USD is going up, the dominance is going up. When Bitcoin USD is trading sideways or going down, altcoins are gaining strength. So with this bull move on the 12-hour time frame, the Bitcoin dominance chart is bouncing. Why were we looking for a bounce? Because we had been printing a lower high every single day for 7, 8, 9 days, however many days, enough to say, okay, it's time to be looking for a bounce. 4-hour was oversold, I believe. So 4-hour oversold conditions and a solid bounce with Bitcoin. So what are we anticipating now? On this dominance chart, anything under 68.18 is a daily lower high. So I'm anticipating that this bounce will top out when Bitcoin USD tops out. If it forms that lower high compared to 9,900, as we are anticipating, we're going to look for a lower high here as well. If that tightening daily range on Bitcoin results in a bull break of 10,000, I would expect that the dominance chart is going to change its daily trend and head back to test the recent highs. If that tightening Bitcoin range breaks bearish, I would anticipate this bounce is just a daily lower high, and we're going to drop to a lower low and see further weekly consolidation. Big picture is we're looking for a weekly higher low. So we can't lose sight of that. But I'm liking, I haven't been paying this much attention to the altcoin strength and the Bitcoin dominance chart in a long time. And I'm liking how I'm noticing correlations between the US dollar price movement and where strength is heading in this sector. ETH USD, nice tightening daily range here. So we've got our high, low, lower high, higher low. Anything under 211.30 is a lower high, staying in this tightening range. I've been after hours order filling here, and it was really confusing me. So ETH, we've got resistance 211.30, and if that level breaks, it's a bull break. Let's see bigger picture, weekly time frame, weekly bull flag, higher low. And if we bull break the daily time frame, we'll be looking to try and confirm the weekly bull flag. If we bear break, then we're heading back down towards the low of weekly consolidation. So tightening daily range, that tells us I can expect that this chart is likely going to see a break sometime first thing next week if we reject from resistance here. Because if we reject from resistance into Thursday, we pull back into Friday, into the weekend, we tighten up. And as long as the volume stays low, we stay in the sideways tightening range and we look for a break end of this weekend or first thing next week. ETH BTC is dropping, daily consolidation underway. So the Bitcoin dominance bounce is happening at the same time as we are looking at ETH BTC daily consolidation. Anything above 216 is a daily higher low. So the uptrend is what we're watching. We know the most likely scenario is a weekly lower high in this equilibrium. We will have to lose the daily uptrend for us to say our weekly lower high has likely been set. LTC, same tightening daily range. Anything under 44.75 is just a lower high. So if we see tops and reject, again, another few days of staying in this tightening range, volume dropping off, and volume spikes, and using the alert system and setting abnormal volume alerts in tightening ranges can help give us the heads up when these breaks are taking place. But we know that when we get real tight, volume spikes indicate volatility spikes, indicate opportunity chances. We don't want to be actively trading on a daily basis in tightening equilibriums. We want to be actively trading as they are breaking. XRP USD, same thing. Tightening daily range, anything under 2025. Actually, at this point, it's weak enough that pretty much still anything under 2087 is just a lower high. Binance, higher low is set. Anything under, same thing. Didn't bounce enough here. There is a resistance at 1690 to be watching, but I would consider anything under 1732 just a lower high. Link USD. 12-hour time frame here for clarity. High, low, lower high, higher low, lower high. Looks like we had a bear break by less than a penny. And then we broke the lower high resistance with no follow through. So this is choppy here. Bear break with no follow through, bull break with no follow through. I'm not buying Netflix right now. I'm covering a short that I took right at the end of the day. It's pretty much a tiny win trade. So, sideways. Not liking the clarity as much on Link. It was nice and clear here, and now it's getting a bit unclear. So let's zoom out on the daily. High, low, lower high, higher low. I would call anything under 417 a daily lower high. XTZ USD, a bit more clear. Anything under 286 is a daily lower high in this tightening range. And ADA, nice solid bull follow through. We've got resistance at 568, but I would call anything under 575 a daily lower high. So what's the takeaway? Number one, the correlation between the Bitcoin dominance and the BTC USD price movement. Number two, longer term time frames giving us most likely scenarios and zooming in to the shorter term details to find those most likely scenario trade setups. 12-hour trend change looking for the 2-day higher low. And number three, very clear tightening ranges. Bitcoin tightening range, because it's a bit broader, can stay in that longer. I expect every altcoin that we just looked at is likely going to break its tightening daily range first before Bitcoin does, because there's less range to be working with. Watch volume. So volume for the most part on all these coins is just dropping off and becoming non-existent as we trade sideways. There will be a volume and volatility spike in the somewhat near-term future on these coins, and it's worth paying attention to. So that's where we stand, and we'll keep an eye on it. Certainly going to be paying attention to volume spikes over the 20-period average. This yellow line at the bottom here is the 20-period average volume, and I like to watch for spikes over that level. Look at ETH. So ETH daily time frame, every day but one, has been under the 20-day average volume. When we break this tightening daily range, I absolutely anticipate that that day will be above the 20-day average volume. So time to get ready for some volatility. End of the weekend or first thing next week. Have a good rest of your day. Do good things. Appreciate you checking in, and we'll see you soon.
So there's a woman on the local plants page that posted a little artsy project that she did with wood burning in these little name tags during quarantine. So I commented on the post and said, there's a business idea right there, and suggested that I would buy some from her, and then a bunch of other people posted and said they would as well. So I ended up buying a couple dozen, certainly more than I need, but she was a woman who was out of work in the brewery industry, so now she's got a little side hustle going on, and I planted these, or put these all around the garden as a nice little touch.